So are you suggesting now that since Jadeja is not available, Shane, you would rather play Kuldeep Yadav as the only spinner than Ashwin?
Yes, I'd go Kuldeep. I'd have you three quicks, and then I'd play Kuldeep. I'd definitely play Kuldeep ahead of Ashwin.
And looking at both the teams, somehow, Shane, both the teams are now struggling with the openers, while India are not very sure who's to send in with Mayank Agarwal. Is it Prithvi Shaw? Is it Shubman Gill? There were suggestions about KL Rahul as well as an opener. Australia are also struggling. Even they haven't still finalized the two who would walk out.
Yeah, I would have thought that KL Rahul and Agarwal together are fantastic. I'd say they would probably open. And then, Pujara 3, Kohli 4, Rahane 5. And then 6, who would you have at 6, would you think?
Vihari.
I think Vihari will bowl 6. He can bowl a bit of part-time off-spin as well.
Yes.
And then would you have Rishabh Pant or Saha at 7? You'd have Pant, wouldn't you, at 7?
Who would you play? Rishabh Pant?
I'd play Rishabh Pant at 7. I think he's such a dangerous batsman. Saha is as good a keeper. He's a great gloveman, but I think Rishabh Pant with his batting, I'd have him at 7, and then your 4 bowlers. I'd have Kuldeep as the wrist spinner. I'd have Bumrah, Shami, and Sony. I'd have those 3 as my quickies. With Tyagi knocking on the door, I think Tyagi, even though he's a young fella,
Umesh Yadav is also there.
Yeah, Umesh Yadav as well. I mean, jeez, him or Sony, I suppose that's a feel thing. Whether he wants a bit more line and length or whether Virat wants a bit extra pace. So they'll have a look at the wicket and decide probably that third seaming position. But yeah, it's great to have that depth for India to pick. But I'd definitely go for the wrist spinner. I'd have Kuldeep Yadav. But I'd love to have Hardik Pandya in the Test side. I'm a little bit surprised. I love him. I've said weeks ago he's in my top 3 favourite cricketers on the planet. I love him. And everyone goes, geez, that's a big call. I said, no, he's awesome. And then suddenly he did what he did in the T20s and 1Days. And now everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. How good's Hardik Pandya? So I'd love to have him see him in the Test side. I think he's in such great form. The loss of Virat Kohli, I think he brings a lot more to the table than just batting and maybe a few overs with the ball. I think he helps the Indian team walk a bit taller. He's a bit of a rock star. He's got that swagger. He's got the strut. He's Mr. Cool. When he speaks, you think he's from the West Indies. You think he's he's just come off the beach in Antigua. He's like a swagger. He's like, yeah, man, he's cool. So it'd be great to see Pandya batting number 6 or even Rishabh Pant 6, Pandya 7 as the 5th bowling option. I'd like to see that. But hopefully when he's back bowling full-time, he'll be back in the Test side. But India got so much depth. It's going to be a good side. Australia's opening, they're in disarray, Australia, with the opening batsman. I mean, Joe Burns, I backed Joe Burns. I wanted him to play a couple of weeks ago when I was asked. I said Joe Burns and David Warner for me should open and they should stick with Joe Burns. But he's had 8 hits and made 60-odd runs and doesn't look like making a run. So it's a real concern. I'm not sure how the selectors can pick Joe Burns now. So I think Marcus Harris, the left-hander, will come in. And Will Pucovski's got concussion again for the 9th time. So that's that's a huge concern. I would actually personally open with Matthew Wade. I know he doesn't normally open, but I think Wade and Harris, because I think Wade's in the top 6 batsmen in Australia. But I think the only real spot for him would be opening the batting. Because if you have Wade and Harris, you're going to have Labuschagne at 3, Smith at 4, Travis Head 5, and probably young Cameron Green at number 6, as long as he recovers from his concussion. I'm not sure if you saw it the other day when the ball got hit.
I saw that.
So nasty.
It was scary.
Oh, but that creates a lot of debate, doesn't it? Imagine with T20 how hard, like a Hardik and these guys, David Warner, hit the ball, Marcus Stoinis, how hard they hit it. There's not much time for the bowler to react, but the bowler can't bowl in a helmet. It's physically impossible for the bowler to run in a helmet. So, I mean, it's a bit of an issue that has to come up, and I don't know how to fix it. I really don't know what to do about to fix it. But, it'd be interesting to see what Australia go with in the end at the top of the order because, ideally they wanted Warner and Burns, but with Burns failing so many times and so out of form, it'll be interesting to see who they end up opening with.
So you're saying Wade and Marcus Harris should open. Labuschagne,
Yep.
number 3. Steve Smith, 4. Travis Head is 5. And 6 is Cameron Green, is it?
Yeah, I'd have Cameron Green at number 6. If Cameron Green doesn't come up, I would actually put Matthew Wade down to number 6 and bring in Sean Marsh to open.
Oh,
that's what I would do if Cameron Green doesn't come up.
And then Tim Payne and the 3 Pacers and Nathan Lyon.
Yeah, Tim Payne at 7. Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, Lyon would be the bowlers.
Would that be a wrong assessment, Shane?